Alright, got a load of 26er mountain bikes knocking about. Considering a 650B wheel conversion, these are the things I think about. Okay, so you've got a whole feast of 26er wheeled bikes knocking about in the shed that you think will never see the light of day again. Like me, you're thinking, as cool as 26-inch wheels are, could I run a more modern 650B or 27.5 wheel set? As you can see behind me are two of my 26ers that I have converted to 650B in previous videos. And I'm going to share with you what I think about before I consider one of those awesome conversions. Okay, now I have done quite a few of these kind of conversions in the past, and two of them are right here in front of me. I've also done a 26er to 700C. All the videos are on my channel. But before the how, let's talk a little bit about the why. Why would you want to do it? Well, as a bike mechanic, why not? To see if it can be done. There are other considerations though, and let's look at them objectively. Maybe you're going for a bit of a gravel bike conversion vibe. Well, that bigger tyre is going to help that frame cut the mustard in a modern environment. It's going to give you more tyre choices. 26-inch tyre options are becoming a little more limited. There's two reasons straight away. Maybe another reason, it's cool, isn't it? Something that you can talk about at the cafe or the pub when you stop. And there's always, with me, that element of recycling. I'm repurposing a frame which has gone past its original intended use, and I'm now finding it a new one as an adventure bike or a bikepacking rig or a drop bar gravel bike. Makes the world your oyster, really. Okay, so seriously, there's practical reasons that these are a viable option. As I've mentioned, extra rolling radius. That has got to help in a faster gravel setting. I like that I've got that gravel tyre option. I can fit bigger, faster rolling gravel tyres. If you're keeping it 26, your options are limited. You've got the Schwalbe Billy Bonkers, you've got the Baldwin's Billy Doodad, and you've got the Halo H block, just for a start. Yes, you can get Panaracer Gravel Kings in 26, but getting them in stock is quite difficult. Oh yeah, and if you're converting something retro, you don't have to turn some heads.
Of all the bikes, he picks a flipping knackered old steel one to want to admire.
So what is the first consideration if you're thinking about adding 650B wheels to an old 26er? Well, it's got to be your clearance. If you can't get the wheel in, it's a non-starter. So hopefully you know somebody who's got a wheel. That always helps, because if you've already got the frame, you can just try it. These wheels actually were rescued from scrap, so these were recycled as well, and they're actually a through axle with a converter in them. So I'm looking with a suitable size tyre. Don't go mad with your tyres. Don't expect a 2.4-inch tyre to fit. It's not going to work. This one, for example, is a 27.5 by 2.1 Gravel King, and that fits perfectly in this mid to late 90s Gary Fisher Wahoo. The later stuff does seem to be an easier fit. However, the Diamondback budget build, that's quite an old one, and that works absolutely fine. If the clearance is a no-go, that's it. Don't think about hammering the frame, doing stuff like that to the dropouts unless you really desperately want a wheel in there. Just pick another frame. These frames are cheap. They're great budget offerings. That's the whole point of the exercise in my mind, recycling. Now, clearance out front, that is often an easier prospect, because if the forks you've got don't work, you will be able to find some that do. Now, Gary Fisher below is using a 26er fork that just happens to easily accommodate a 650B wheel. Other options are out there. For example, the rigid fork I used on the On1 build is actually for a 700C disc wheel. It just happens that it fits the G1 all-round with the 650B perfectly on this build. So forks are a consideration. There again, you're going to have to look for clearance. If it is snug, if there's any chance it's going to foul the top of the fork, it's a no-go. But most options are out there, especially cheap rigid steel forks. They're 10 a penny. Again, getting to know your local cycling charity will really help you in this regard. Okay, so we've checked out our clearance and we've found a frame that suits. Next thing you're going to have to overcome is the old stoppers. How is it going to stop? It's no good if you can't make it stop. Now, if you've got disc mounts or a way of adding a disc mount, I happen to use an A to Z disc mount for the rear and buy a disc specific fork. It does make life easier. That's brilliant. Discs are an absolute saviour. If you want to run canties, you can, but you will need an adjustable set. Pull components on the top of the tree, trickling down to texture offerings if you can find them, but it can be done. It does present another challenge though, and that is finding 650B wheels with a rim brake track. That can be a challenge. Oh, while I think about it, don't buy the V-brake adapters off Amazon. They are for 26 to 700C only. Trust me, I've been burnt before. So as I mentioned, wheel sets. They are out there. You can get simple QR wheel sets in disc, very easy to find. If you happen to get a set with through axles, don't panic because you can get the converters off Amazon. Really simple. We'll convert that big old throw axle to a smaller one. Brakes with a rim track. A rim brake track for 650B, as I say, is where the problem lies. They are out there. I was given a set from David Pickering's Bikes. They are a Wyman set that were available from the likes of distributors like More Large many, many years ago. They are out there, but they will take a little hunting down. Oh, and you'll probably have to buy a brand new set as well, but they'll be cheap. Yeah, now, while I'm on the subject of the wheels, make sure they're suitable for dirt if that's where you're going. Don't go buying flimsy wheels. Bad call. Okay, so with all those little technical doodads considered, what's the last thing I think about? This is the least important thing for me, and I know other bike mechanics will be different, but for me, it's frame geometry. Will those larger tyres raise the bottom bracket too much and make the handling sketchy? In my experience, and this is only my personal experience, this has rarely ever been an issue going up to 650B. I tend to make my mind up once it's done and I'm riding it, and I've yet to turn any of my bikes back to 26 inch. Also, just as a thought, if you can't fit a 650B out back, don't underestimate the power of the mullet build. Pop a 650 up front and keep the 26 out back for party time. Yeah, mullet gravel. Don't underestimate it till you've tried it. Probably one for more the flat bar style builds than the drop bars, really, I'm thinking on that one. Okay, so I hope you found those little nuggets of information useful, and maybe I've just convinced you to give it a try yourself. If you do it and you make a sweet build, contact me on Instagram, send me some pictures, show me what you're working with, and I'll show them off on my Insta page for other people to debate over. Honestly, just go for it. Don't get wrapped up in any of the technical bits. Just make sure that they're clear and give it a go. And with that, I'm going to sign off and say, hope your next ride is downhill with smooth tarmac. Keep your wheels spinning, keep your rubber on the road, and most of all, keep your knobblies, whatever size you go for, out on the trail. Look out for one another. Be a good human being first. Even better, cyclist second. Remember to give each other the nod. Cyclist to cyclist. We're in this together. This is our community. Remember, stop and help people. Not just cyclists, just stop and help people. You know, be a good human being first, and even better, cyclist second. If you get a minute, it'd be absolutely amazing if you would like and subscribe. It really does help my channel, and just, yeah, feels really good to know you guys are out there watching. But as always, it is a very big but. Don't let that get in the way of you getting out and riding your bike. Until next time, this has been Downhill Smooth Tarmac. Thank you for watching.